I need to figure that out. The red wash. It's like black. Alright. Here we go. Hopefully it's actually working if I can hear it this time. How are you yellow about? Cards out of the way. No, Yumiko. Oh, you are a big boy, Rex. When Rex is done, let's let him dry now. So this is for a game called Super Dungeon Explorer. These are the two mini bosses from the original game. They're like ogre kobolds and stuff. And yes, two can come out at once. And if you don't beat one, another one can sneak back up. But basically, when you defeat all the spawners in the area, and then all the monsters, the mini bosses appear. No, Yumiko. It's like 90 degrees out. You don't need to sit in my lab right now. Running a little late today because I had some people stop by to get water. Yep. Thank you, Anthony. It's a pretty quiet night. It's like 1,000,000 degrees outside, though. No, Yumiko. Hello, Derp. Ew. I'm sorry, Anthony. I usually stream a few minutes earlier, but I had two of my friends were cycling and they decided to stop by for water. Was the meeting part of work or was it like an extra thing? And how are you two today? No, you don't need to come up here right now. No. No. No, Yumiko. It's a million degrees. You don't need to come in my lap right now. Got his base done. Where'd you go, cat? I don't trust you. Hey. I'll give you pets, but that's it right now. Yeah. You don't need to come up here right now. It's really warm, even though I have the fan going on me. So we're wetting them dry. I decided to also work on the babooties. Because it's always good to have multiple things going at once. So they're green treasure chests, so we're going to paint them like the card. My paint is all goofy and dried out, so no, Yumiko. So we will start painting. Not shake this up enough one. Yeah, it's crazy warm out there right now. And my cat wants to call my lap, but I'm like, it's a million degrees, Kate. You do not need to be going on my lap right now. I primed in my bathroom. I probably shouldn't be, but I do. But I have the fan going too, so. Yumiko, no. I was trying to find something I could wear that wouldn't kill me. Yeah, I use a vent. It's probably not the healthiest thing for me still, but I don't really have a spot outside I can prime. If it was a large army, I'd go outside to do it. But especially when I was like trying to finish getting ready for this. Yumiko, I told you no like 7 times. Stop. So I'm painting the little green chests without trying to get it all. I'm trying not to get it all over me, but it's kind of hard. Yumiko, no. You know, listen, cat. I'm talking, so it must be for her. Yumiko, no. No. You gotta snag this. Come here. Yes, sit down. You gotta sit down. No, you're sitting. No, you're sitting. No tail in my paint. Did you finish building more then, Derp? I'm seeing stuff you're painting them. Or priming them, sorry. How many do you usually prime at a time? Nice. Are you gonna start painting them then tonight or tomorrow? Gotcha. I tend to not prime models until I'm actually gonna start working on them. Just so I know, like, or if I'm gonna use them in like a game or something. But most of mine are still unprimed until they're based and ready to be painted. Gotcha. I don't play as often, but it's always really cool seeing like a fully painted army on the table, or two fully painted armies going at each other. Just makes it seem cool. So I'm doing layers on the greens so it doesn't take away the detail of the chest. It's like a wooden chest. And then as soon as this is dry, which it's getting there, we'll do the wash on the base and then we'll start coloring him. So they are similar color. That's nice. Yeah, as long as like you and your friends don't mind, it's good. I just know in general, it just looks cooler to have a painted army on the table. That's why I'm trying to get all these painted up for the board game. I think it'd be more fun to have a fully painted like dungeon crawl going on. And that one is done. I'm gonna hydrate myself because what are ITCs? I just found out when the last cons I was planning for the year got canceled, which I'm glad they did it because there's not a safe way to have it. But so my con season basically is over for this year, which is kind of good too because my car's going. I need to somehow figure out. Ah, gotcha. We don't do a lot of like tournaments at the stores over by me, even though it's a Games Workshop store. But Adepticon is a big tournament scene that I've gone to before, but that was canceled this year. It's near me, so I drive up there for a day or two just to hang. And it's free to enter, or it's free to attend unless you want to get into a tournament. Then you have to pay for the badge and the tournament and everything. But they have a lot of fun events up there. I used to do the Crystal Brush all the time, but they got rid of that. I kind of I'm not a super competitive person. I rather just play for fun. That's one reason I'm big into painting these I've never been to PAX. You should have gone to Adepticon. You could have hung out with me. So it's definitely a fun convention. And like I said, it's close enough for me. I could drive up there. I don't get a hotel because I don't need to be up super early for the tournaments. I did a few tournaments there. I actually won Player's Choice one year with my friend. I know. I'm just giving you crap. But I won Player's Choice with my undead army, and he had undead orcs and goblins. It was cool. I still have the plaque from it. I think it was the last year they did that award. I've also won a couple of costume contests there as well. With my sister battle costume, which I need to redo bad. Let me see if I can do the wash on these. Oh, they're still wet, so I can still start painting them, I guess. So his stomach is... We're going to do this brown color to start out with. Ah. I should have this there. That looks a little weird. There we go. Alright, thank you. They're more than welcome to message me about stuff. Oh, where's his chest go? Also, welcome to the stream. We're painting a mini boss today. I also started on my diet again, hardcore, so this will be fun. So that means I'll be drinking more water. Yeah, yeah, I'm not doing like a hardcore diet, but I'm just watching my calorie count, exercising more, and doing more water intake. It's just little things to help. I've already lost 2 pounds though in like a couple days, so yay! I'm not even really trying too hard yet. Something I want to do for myself though. I have a really cute outfit coming in, and I kind of want to be able to look really good in it, so I'm excited. Yeah, you were doing pretty good for a while, I know. It's kind of hard with the quarantine and everything, because, like, you can't really go out, so it's like, why get all... I guess why worry about how you look as much? I don't know. I tend to find a hard time keeping myself on track by myself, but I'm going to attempt to this time. Usually if I have someone, like, kind of egging me on, it works better. Oh my god, I can't see this guy's flab. Look at his flabby belly. So he is a kobold ogre. He's crazy. I'm trying to get in there without... I started my stream a little late today because of my cyclist friends, which they might be getting me a lot. Oh, hello! That's okay, I started late because it took me a little longer to get ready than I expected. How was your trip back? Oh, are you not back to work at all yet? I thought they were starting to let you guys back. I've been trying to keep a decent sleep schedule, but it's kind of hard. I've been sleeping more than I should, but that's because of other reasons too. Angry one, by the way. Yeah, Yes, I'm glad I could help with the water issue. Um, Saturday, I'm planning on going to that trail to take a long walk. If you and your biking buddy happen to be in that area, let me know. I won't be cycling, I'll just be walking, but the one with the cool deer and everything. Might make a day out of it. As long as it's not like a million degrees, I'll just go early and do a lot of walking. I don't think I have anything planned for this weekend. Yeah, I don't think I have. I mean, I could possibly do a different day too. I'm planning on Saturday. And you guys can chase me with your bikes and I can bark at you or something. I don't know. So this is kind of a crappy brush I bought at Myers for a couple bucks. But I'm using it for a base coat because I don't really need it to be super what's the word I'm looking for? Super like in the lines and stuff because I'll be going over it with other colors. So if it's a little messy, it doesn't matter right now. But I'm excited because I got all the cobalts built today too. So I'll eventually have them all ready to play. So someone needs to come play this game with me eventually. I have a bunch of characters to choose from. And for a while I will not be going anywhere because of my car, but yeah, I can't play I used to do a channel on my computer, but the CPUs have been spiking like crazy. So I'm trying to do the music on my phone, and I can't find the same one a lot of times. So I just kind of play what I can find. That is a cool song. I like their Nakozilla one too. It's pretty funny. Hello, Justin. How are you? I'm painting some big boys right now. So I have a cat in my lap, so my lap's like a million degrees. I'm decent. Overheating a little bit, but not too bad. So I try to wear something that's at least a little lighter. I was not putting a wig on today with the weather. Because my AC was not keeping up again. Yeah, I saw that. That's basically the last con I was planning for the year. So like I was telling Derp, my con season kind of is like over now. I'm kind of glad it got canceled. It's safer for everyone, but still disappointing. Yeah, one of my friends actually got tagged in like 4 posts as soon as like Chris announced it. And I was like, what the heck, people? Like I read the RamenCon page too. I don't need to be tagged all the time. Gives me more time to get new cosplays up and running though, because I really want to do Froppy. I had a couple other ones on the list. I want to do Raftalia because I'm now in love with that character. And then I've been watching Shakugan no Shana again. I really like her as well. So they're on my to-do list. A friend of mine is trying to... Yeah, I love Froppy. I have to still watch more of it, but, yeah, I adore her. A friend is trying to get me to move to Ohio, though. He's like, I have work here, you should come here. And I'm like, I really don't know if there's anything in Ohio for me, but, if I can't find work, I might have to. I'd rather not go to Ohio, though. Because I know Anthony's from Ohio, but I don't remember what arc that is. I'm only on like season. Ugh. Yeah, I think I just finished season 2 and then season 3. I don't remember exactly. I'm bad with that. I should probably go back. I hope it keeps track of where I am. I think I kept a notepad with where I am so I don't get messed up. Yeah, I'm pretty behind. I started watching another series. Started watching Egretsu with a friend. No. I started. I was. I said I got. I started rewatching Shauna because I really liked the series and I couldn't watch it before because the person I was with didn't like the series, so we stopped. But so I rewatched season one, and I'm gonna start season two of that. I've been watching. I can't remember the name of it. There's like this weird horror origins Japanese horror origin story thing on Netflix I watched, which was really weird but kind of good at the same time. So I watched that. It was like 8 episodes. I think that's all they have out. I started watching Supernatural, but they only have so many episodes out of that on there too. So we're gonna find my wash brush, which is over here. Look at how bad this brush is beaten up. Hello, Pi. How are you? Yeah, it began with a J. I don't remember what it was, but I watched it and it confused me a little. That's one of the reason why I like watching series with other people because I get confused sometimes, and I like to be like, "Hey, I don't understand this. Can you explain it, please?" But I watched what was out on Netflix, and it was interesting for sure. Come on, phone, stop being dumb. Yeah, I was because I've been in like a really big horror kick, which is not the smartest thing for me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's very very warm out today. So we're gonna watch the Babooty. If that's its name, Babooty. It's kind of awesome. Yeah, I need someone to come play this game with me though, since I have a lot of the characters painted up now. We can social distance and still play. And then I think we can wash Rex as well. Trying to wash this without getting it all over me, but I'm kind of failing at that a little bit. So this green wash isn't a lot darker than the green paint, so I can actually go a little heavier on it. Some washes darken it by quite a bit, and you don't want that. But because this just darkens a little bit, we can go a little heavier on it. Like I said, I've been watching a ton of horror movies too, and then I go outside to look for the comet is supposed to be out there, and then I get freaked out because I hear noise in the cornfield and run back to my house, or like someone comes to go to the storage unit, I hear the gate open, and I run back to the house. Right there. So now we find we want black wash. There it is. So we're gonna really quick wash the Yes, they're babooties. That's their name. And later on they have other versions of them called the bouncing babooty. They just have here's their card. Yeah, they're the bouncing ones are pretty funny. There's bouncing, biting, and another one I can't remember, but they're a lot of fun. I love the names of them too, and I actually have the USB drive of them. I just don't know where I put it right now, but it actually looks like a little booty and it's cute. So we're gonna wash Rex now, his base, and then we could start on. I guess actually I should wash his stomach too. At least with the humidity, or the heat in here with the fans on, this is drying a little faster, so that's good. Certain things don't dry fast, but then I have the fan blowing on this, so it's going a little faster. Yes, it's Babooties. The name just makes me laugh every time I say it. It's like, Booty. If anyone is interested in playing it sometime, they'll let me know, and I will send you the characters I have, and you could pick. Yeah, these are very mean, but if you defeat it, you get 2 treasures, and you get to pick one of them to keep. So, but they're pretty mean, especially when you're being whomped on by other things. But yeah, if anyone's interested, let me know. I could show you the characters I still have and get some more painted up, because I rather paint up the ones that people are going to use first than just I mean, I'll eventually paint them all up, but I rather do the ones first that people are actually going to play with. Okay, so let that dry, and then we'll get the wash for his belly. I think let's do... Where are you, Wash? You were over there. I apparently forgot to pull all my washes over here. Yeah, these are funny mimics, and you don't know they're a mimic until after you open it, of course. But yeah, for most, you just draw a random treasure. For them, if you defeat them, you get. I think you also get a potion. But when in the treasure deck, when you pull one up, it sometimes has the Babooty on it. So then you defeat it, and if you do, you get to pick between 2. It has backlash too, so if it like attacks you, or if you attack it, it attacks back. So you have to be really careful and get rid of it pretty fast. They are not very nice. But they're kind of cute. Yeah, I don't think I have any of the other ones yet. The other set, but I'll eventually get the other characters and stuff, because I really like... I don't like the company himself, unfortunately, but I like the characters and stuff. Uh-oh. Do I have a feeling I know what's coming, kitties? They might be passed out in the sun, so good luck getting them here. Yes? No? Oh, you finally watched it? What'd you think? Isn't it really cute? I adored it. I really want to get that on DVD. I thought it was a really cute movie. You also watched My Roommate the Cat too, which was really cute. I love that one. Yeah. I thought the whole premise it was a little creepy, but also really cool. But I really enjoyed it. I cannot wait to get it on DVD. So now let's talk painting Ricks. It's a really cute movie. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. It's called Whisker Away, and it's on Netflix right now. Super cute movie. It has like a it has a Ghibli like vibe to it, but just really pretty and some really cool art and everything. Yeah, the main girl, her cat is the cat she's in is adorable. Okay, you liked it too. Awesome. Yeah. I was really mad because I started watching it and my internet cut out, so I couldn't finish it until the next day. And I'm like, I want to know what's going on. It's not fair. Here, Booty, move out of the way. You're blocking stuff. And you got hair in your mouth. So we're gonna start painting Rex up. I own Wolf Children. It's one of my favorite movies ever. It's like in my top movies. I've seen Summer Wars. I don't think I've seen The Boy and the Beast. I do not think I've seen the first one though. The Girl Who Went Through Time. Yeah, Wolf Children is definitely in my top anime movies out there. I've recommended that one to so many people. It's just a really good movie. Yeah, I had a friend come over and we were trying to decide what to watch. This was like last year, and she had never seen it, so I made her made her watch it, and she loved it. That one was good too. I don't think it was in my top, but I have a lot of favorite movies, so it's kind of hard. What was the one I saw recently? What? Someone else did. Not Garden of Words. It was another one done by similar people. What else did the guy who did 5 centimeters per second do? It's one of those movies I know, but done by the same person. I'm blanking on the names. Your Name. That's the one. That's the one I liked. I really liked Your Name, and then the newest one I saw, With the Rain. I saw that one with a friend in theaters when it was out. It was also really good. We ditched our anime night to go watch an anime movie in theaters. It was kind of funny. Yes, Weathering with You. That one was also really good. I enjoyed it. I don't think it was as good as Your Name, but it was still really, really good. But thank you for remembering the name, because I didn't. I'm a little... The heat's kind of getting to my head a little bit, so... See, I like that one more than some of those other ones. But mostly because it had just really, really gorgeous art in it, too. The animation and everything was just so pretty. Yep. I definitely approved of that. I think Your Name made me cry too much. Maybe that's why I didn't like it as much. The Parker variety. That's funny. Alright, now we're getting to near his stomach, so I gotta be a little more careful with the way I paint. So his tail is dry, so I can flip him over. Just think if more people had actually listened, we might have been able to have some of these later on cons and events. Yeah, like I was actually really glad they canceled Gen Con because it's like a huge convention and there was no way people would be able to social distance there. Or wouldn't. I mean, you can't even get most people at cons to shower half the time, so getting them to do anything else is kind of impossible. I think if he was smart, he would. I understand why he's not, or why he hasn't yet, because a lot of places have to wait for the hotel and the convention center themselves. What's it doing? My music stopped. Hold on. Come on. My internet's been kind of crappy. They aren't doing it to be mean. They're doing it for safety reasons. I mean, we saw how well Florida did with reopening and spiking everything. A lot of cons are doing the online thing too, which is really nice. Yeah. There's too many people that are still being completely dumb. But at least now the president claims it's good to wear a mask, so maybe some of them will start listening. We'll see. Rex is angry. Rawr. Look at his massive hand. He could, like, kill someone with it. I mean, that's the goal, I think, but... This is why you don't mutate your, kobolds. They turn into massive, crazy things. Yeah, it's true. I'm still trying to find someone to get help me print a version of the Black Cat Diva gun for reasonably priced. I don't even mind if I do the painting and stuff on it, but I want like a good version of it because I've seen some that aren't very good. They're very rough. I need a better one. Because I do not have a gun for that costume yet. Hey! Lily says hi. You can see her butt. Lily! Here. There you go. You see the kitty face in the corner. Uh-oh. Much meaner kobold. Yeah, this is mutated. There's two of them. I like to call them brothers. I'm probably going to give them some kind of identifying markers on them. Maybe even just like different color eyes or something. So they'll be similar, but still like have something about them that's different. Yes, that was the kitty. So we'll probably work on one of him first. I'll get him all painted up and then washed so we can start on him. And then we'll do his brother later, just so you can see more progress. So the only problem about big models, they take a long time, and I like to use my small brushes because that's me. And he's not wearing any pants. Of course not. Yeah, some of the other heroes I got primed up and ready to paint are like the paladin, there's a dwarf, there's a barbarian, there's an elf ranger. Lily, what are you doing? What are you eating? So there's a lot of really cool characters in here. We had a kobold who he ended up leaving, or Jake switched characters, but he thought if he worshipped lightning enough, he'd become a dragon. And he thought lightning was the dragon god. I'll be on for at least another hour or so. I usually stream for about 2 hours at a time. I call it the dream, yes. Not a very good dream, but he had a dream. Alright, this is going to be a little harder because his belly is hidden under his arm. Yeah, he ended up leaving our party because Jake got bored with him. But he was my Fizzy, I used to challenge him all the time. Fizzy's my gnome barbarian. They would always have like contests because Flea always thought he could be the best. And Fizzy, of course, was a lot stronger than him. And then, so when Fizzy got challenged by someone else and lost, Flea was like, no, you beat me, no one can beat you, kind of thing, and helped her win. It was kind of funny. Without cheating. No, there's no cheating involved. But I'm actually probably looking for a different D&D group, so if anyone knows any that are running, like, online, let me know. I'd be interested. I prefer online right now just because, my car isn't doing too hot and I don't want to drive a lot. But if anyone knows of any groups that are looking for a player, let me know. I have to paint in his nose. It feels really weird to paint inside of his nose. Your initiative failed, Alex. Trying to get in his little head without getting it all over his stomach. So I problem with painting his chin. There we go. Yeah, my goal is to lose another 30 pounds. And kind of get back to where I was before. I haven't gained like a ton in quarantine, but I gained some before then. I just kind of want to go back down. So I'm hoping that I don't fall off the train this time and keep at it. I know it's a little hard for me by myself, but I'm managing as of now. By now, I mean like 3 days have gone by. So nothing crazy yet. Alright, oh, gotta finish this other. Ugh. I'm trying. I don't like planking though. Planking's annoying. And that won't help lose weight, that just helps tone. I believe. But yes, I did it a couple times and I kind of stopped. So I need to get back on it. Getting his little hand all painted now. He has such pretty nails for a kobold. Gotcha. I want to make sure my paint was closed all the way before I shook it, because I did it one time and it was not closed and I got paint everywhere. So I need to get his little hand under here, and then his hand is all done. Minus his nails, but those will be a different color. Alright, that hand is done. So this hand is mostly covered in a bandage, which will help. He looks so angry. Look how angry this dude is. It's probably because he has no pants. He's angry. He has massive meaty hands though. When he compares to other, like, the heroes and stuff, they're even bigger than the boss, which is weird. But the boss is a dragon, so, dragon's still scarier. Alright, we got his tail. Let's try getting in there and see. Try and get under his underarm without getting it on everything else. It's really weird trying to paint his underarm. I think I got most of it. And his feet are partially, and they're not bandaged. He has like looks like chains on him though. So we'll do the tail first. I gotta be a little more careful on the feet because they're against the ground. So what is everyone up to this lovely evening? And I just got red all over my hands. Anything fun? Dinners? Oh, that's a long way. And you want me to keep up with you guys cycling? Jeez. I'm assuming you guys both survived then. The long trek. You know, it was a bazillion degrees outside. He might have. I like how you said might. Speaking of water, I'm going to hydrate myself. So we're going to do his feet now, and then the red will be done on him. Trying to figure out what color his... I'm going to do a metal, because it looks like a dark metal. Now his feet, we're going to be more careful on because they're against the stone. I missed some spots, so I'm going to go in and touch those up really quick. My brush is fraying a little bit, so I gotta be careful. It doesn't fray onto the ground. Oops. He fell over. He was tired. Oh, there's cat fur on it. Can I get it? Yes, I got it. But, yep. He decided to go for a dance and fall. Getting in between his toes. I'm not worried about covering the toenails because they will be a different color. There we go. These minis are from the board game Super Dungeon Explorer. These are the 2 mini bosses. They're basically mutated kobold ogres. So they're pretty massive and not very friendly. And then I'm also painting the babooties, which are basically the mimic versions in that game. So yeah, I had the boss done. I figured go on to the mini bosses, get them done, and I can work on the rest of the characters and stuff and all the other minion kobolds they have. I didn't realize how many kobolds there were until I started building them today. I'm like, oh, I built a set. That's all I need to do, and there's like 22 of them in all. I'm like, oh. But I have mostly everything built from of what I own from the game, and then I just gotta finish painting everything. My goal is to, once everything clears up, to have a board game night and be able to play with them all painted up, because I think it'd be fun. And maybe, depending on when it is and everything, we might be able to even stream play in the game so people can see it all come together and how the game actually plays. That could be kind of fun. But we'll see once time comes. But now the goal is just to get it all painted up. To go underneath his crotch. I apologize. Let's see if I can get in there easier. Feels so weird trying to get in there. Get off his toes. Make sure to touch up some little areas I might have forgotten. But he is... I think the red on him is all done. So we can do a wash on him. So give it a second to dry. You can kind of see the before and after. But while he is... Before I can do the wash, I think. Yeah, it'll give his foot a second to dry. We will do... Actually, not a smaller brush for this one. The bad brush. Where's my small good brush? There we are. We're going to do the gold on the babooty. He's going to be a fancy babooty. These little gold strips on the chest are a little tiny, so I'm trying to make sure I don't mess it up. As you can see, they're very little. So the paint dries a little faster, but it also dries out faster, which is not as good when it comes to painting, because you don't want to dry it that fast when you're still putting it on. Once it's on, it can dry fast, and it's fine. He's coming along very nicely. Make sure, see if Rex's feet are dry. And they appear to be, so we can give him a wash really quick. And then go back to the gold. So the main focus is going to be Rex. I just need to let him stew. So we are going to use the big wash brush again. And give him a bath. Same thing we do with the dragons. We start with a base red, and then we do a red wash, which gives it almost like a burgundy, purplish effect. But it helps darken areas where there's crevices and everything. Like between his hands. You're missing the Rex get a bath with the red wash. And we started highlighting on the Babooty. The gold. How are your flowers doing? I can't grow flowers to save my life, and it makes me sad because I really like flowers. But every time I've gotten them, I end up killing them on accident, and yeah, so I don't let myself have flowers anymore. The only ones that last a long time were the ones my sister got me for Valentine's Day. They they lasted a long time. Oh, I love praying mantises. They're so cool. They're so chill too. They just kind of like sit there and do whatever. I had a scare last night. It wasn't. You mentioned the bugs, so I thought of it. I went to go take. Since I didn't really have time for a walk, and I just ran around the parking lot a little bit. And apparently, a bug got in my shirt, but I didn't know this at first. So I come inside and I hear like this weird buzzing coming really close to me. I'm like, what the fuck? And then it crawled into my shirt down my back. And so having a random beetle in my shirt was not fun. I screamed. quite a bit. Like, I'm not afraid of it, but I didn't know what it was. And I just felt it, like, crawling and buzzing in my shirt, and not cool. And then it flew out and hit something, and I don't know where it went after that. It was a pretty, funny sight, though, for the cats, I'm sure. They're probably like, what is wrong with Mommy? She's being all scared. So if I knew what it was, I wouldn't have cared as much. But because I didn't know what was buzzing, I was just like, something's coming to get me. Yeah, I didn't know it was harmless until it came out of my shirt, though. Put his other foot. Now we're gonna wash his underneath. And then we got his other hand here to do. What kind of flowers are you growing? Any particular ones, or just give him some extra wash on his hand? So let his wash dry now that he's been bathed. Kind of smooth out. I don't want it to chunk up too much in his back muscles, so I'm gonna smooth it a little bit. Oh, gotcha. I just know there's like some people like certain types and that. Like my favorites like are lilies, but I don't get lilies because I have cats and they're deadly to the cats. In my luck, even if I was being careful, the cats would somehow get into them. So back to highlighting this treasure chest. That looks like I murdered someone because I have red all over me. Lily is actually short for Lilith. She's a demon cat. That's all. But I just call her Lily because it's a cute nickname. Yes, her full name is Lilith. Yeah, they can kill cats. This is why I don't get them around me. Even the pollen, if it just gets tracked in, can really hurt them. Yes, that's not why I named Lily. Also, it was, the guy I was with didn't like the other names I picked out, so that one stuck. Even though she came with me anyways. It's weird because I found out through Facebook memories it's been 5 years. I'm like, it feels like time just flies past. It's ridiculous. Anyone else feel like time just like goes way too fast for them? Yep, the name stuck for Lily. When she's in trouble, she gets Lilith. And I yell at her. But, yeah. Guys leave cats sick forever, right? There's actually 2 characters I want to cosplay from Darkstalkers, though. Not Lilith, but I know which one she is. I want to do Felicia and Morgana. I think I actually want to do Morgan first. I don't know who Heiko is. Yeah, I think my first choice would actually be Morgan. Because I just love her, she's my second choice. My first choice, I said, is actually Morgan. Just because I like her outfit better. Yeah, Felicia's a cat, so that's one of the reasons too. For that, I had to lose a little more weight before I even attempt that. If you do it right, there's ways to get around that. I've been cosplaying for years. I kind of know how to make stuff work when need be. And Felicia wears less than Morgan, so what are you talking about? Oops, I got. That's true. There's always tape and stuff though too. For like there's tape to hold like shirts, clothes, and stuff. My sister had some of that for when she was dressing as a guy one time. If you don't do the flesh shoot right though, it could look really bad. I've seen people use flesh suits and they either don't get to match real well, and it just looks like they're just wearing a bodysuit, and it kind of takes away from the character. Try this. I'm getting on the. So this point, I went to go get sushi the other day, and for pickup, and I didn't like it. There's only two sushi places near me that did the pickup, and I didn't like any of the sushi they had. It was really disappointed. I'm like, oh, I kind of want a sushi. So I have to wait till I can go like out to where there's actually good places and get some other ones. Where's my? So we will do. Yes. We were talking about Darkstalkers cosplay. What kind of out? He's wearing like a brown. Do I have another brown I can use for that? The metal on him, I guess. I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about doing his like skirt thing. So his knee thing is metal here. Yeah, the only two places that were open at the time didn't have any rolls that I was familiar with that liked. I mean, mine's the normal California roll, but I wanted something better, like my summer roll or my butterfly roll, and they didn't have any of them, so it was disappointing. Uh-oh. Who's complaining now, Justin? Do you need to go smack him? Hopefully it's no one I know, or I'm gonna have to smack some people. Did you see the thing I posted earlier? Yeah. About the scientists who are like, oh, we've been studying this for years, but some guy on Twitter. Yeah, I've been on Facebook as much lately. I still go on there to wish people like happy birthdays and try to post some humorous stuff here and there to help with the situations, but I mainly the reason I haven't deactivated it yet is because it's still part of my I have my painting page and stuff through there and my cosplay page, but I've been using it less and less. Getting this gold in there. Is that the one where they shove the tube all the way down your throat and stuff? Yeah. A friend of mine, he works at he's IT for like a hospital, like, or not hospital, like doctors. And apparently some lady came in there knowing she had it and wouldn't wear a mask, and then they found out after the fact, and he was like literally talking to her. He wears his, but it doesn't help when she's being, she came in knowingly she had it. So they're waiting for her test to come back, and then they have to go all get tested, and he's like stressing about it. I think they should make it illegal for people that know they have it to be stupid and like pass it on. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm still being pretty safe. I've seen my family once or twice, but most of the time it's just me at home with the kitties. Probably have to make a grocery store run coming up because I ran out of bread and stuff. Ooh. Were you on your work computer or something, Anthony? Bad Rex. Stand up. Well, that's good. You're all the way in Ohio. It's part of it. But, I haven't seen many people out here. Gotcha. Yeah, I've seen a couple people, but not many since everything's happened. To be fair, though, I don't really know who I'd hang out with right now. I'm still trying to find a job and everything. I'd rather be safe than sorry currently. I went to my parents for the 4th of July. And it was just like the four of us, and then, well, yeah, forgot to count Martin. And then my dad's friend, we stayed away from him, and he wore his mask and stuff. My dad's not immune compromised, but he's like, he can catch things very easily since he basically has his immune system wiped from the cancer. So you have to be careful around him. And then other people I know just get sick at the drop of a hat, so I've been staying away from them to make sure they don't get sick and I don't get them sick. Like, I haven't been feeling sick, but just in case. There we go. Got his. Ah! So do you only go in like once or twice a week then? So we're doing the chain on him now. That's red. I think there my dad worked from home until yeah, Illinois is starting to spike again, which is not cool. I think we're all doing better than Florida though. Thank God. My sister lives in Florida and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with you people down there. I've been trying to like watch for updates and stuff, but I haven't seen a ton yet with anything. Some little chain on his belly. Yeah. Hopefully they're all being safe. Thank you, Alex. I've also been trying to eat my meals a little earlier in the day. So like before I'd sometimes be snacking late at night. Now I try to eat my meal by like 6 or 7. So come on music. I still have to watch more of that. That's when I started with someone I never got very far. Um I think we watched like 3 episodes and then I don't see them anymore, so kind of stopped watching it. I said I'm addicted to Shauna right now. It's such a depressing series, but it's so good. Gotcha. And I know a lot of places are still doing travel bans. Like if you drive, or if you visit certain states, you have to quarantine when you come back and everything. I'm pretty sure Florida's one of those states. It's held on Captain or Captive. Is it still on Netflix then, Justin? Cool. Yeah, when I feel less down, I was gonna try to get like a movie night going on the Discord so we can all like watch a series or like or a couple episodes or like a movie or something, just all together to do something instead of feeling alone all the time. I know a few people would really appreciate it, but I've been feeling kind of a little too glad to get it all up and running right now. I know it's the first 2 seasons of Shauna is on Hulu because I watched the first one on there and I'm on the second. I still gotta finish My Hero. I started watching Dr. Stone with a friend. I think we're on episode 7 or 8 of the series. I watched Hamilton as well. I'm not as hyped about it as a lot of people were, but I watched it. Like I said, I haven't gotten too far. Oh, it's gross. Give me your pickles. I haven't gotten too far into Dr. Stone yet, but I like it so far. Some of the characters are annoying, but overall it's good. Yeah, I like the songs in Hamilton. I honestly didn't have a clue what was going on some of the times. I was like, oh, okay, they're doing something. I don't know what they're doing, but cool, the song. And some of the dancing was really cool, too. But yeah, I didn't quite understand the full story. Yes, that was a really cool part. Oh, he was so weird. But yeah, he made me laugh a lot. Especially when he like drooled all over himself at one point. You remember the drool? Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was actually like, supposed to be part of it or not, but apparently he was just that getting that into character or something. Just funny. Gotta give him props for that. He got his chain all done now. Still trying to debate what color I'm gonna do as like grass skirt thing. Cause I did the stomach darker than it was supposed to be. Huh. That's kind of awesome. In a weird way. Maybe we'll do it like a... Maybe we'll do like a mixture of, for skin tone, we'll do the brown and this a little bit of orange in there. So I get my big brush again. Nicozoa! Yay! This song's so weird, I love it. So we're going to mix a little bit, because I don't want him to have the same color as his stomach. So we're going to add just a tad of orange in there to give it a little bit of a tone difference. So it also makes it a little warmer. See, the things you learn. To be fair, also, I haven't seen a ton of musicals. I used to watch more of the ballets because I was in the ballets a lot of times. So, like, some of the musicals I just haven't seen. Alright, we're going to just do this lighter brownish color on him. It's not a huge difference, but once we lighten up the stomach and add other shading and stuff, it'll see the difference. I'm also still trying to get my overlay up and running. I need to finish drawing it. It's gonna be my two kitties, and they're gonna be Lily's gonna be, or sorry, Yumiko's gonna be down here playing, and Lily's gonna be up and there. I have them started drawing. I just gotta finish them and get them colored, so my kitties can join the stream. As you can tell, it's a slightly different tone difference, which it will change greater once I said the wash and other shadings. He's wearing, at least he's wearing a skirt. He's not wearing any pants, but he's wearing something. So I don't want to get onto his skin, so I'm going to be very careful getting in there. No, Yumiko. Was that the guy that played King George? Was he in, Oh, you meant the actual King George. Oops. It's probably why I didn't get as much, as I'm not as huge into history as I am, like, fantasy stuff. But it's still very enjoyable to watch, and I'm glad I watched it. Hey, we might be a musical one day. With everything going on. Couldn't you imagine? Them singing about COVID and stuff? For some reason, when I read that, the actual King George, when he said that, my first thought was, oh, so you knew him. And then I realized I was being dumb. I had a little bit of a brain fart there. No, Yumiko. No. There's a lot of areas right next to the skin, so I'm trying to make sure I don't get it all over the place. Hence the little bit of daintiness going on here. Oh, Yumiko. I'm also afraid the cat's gonna jump up here in a minute. But he has his skirt started now. He has a lot of skirt going on here. You go way back. Is he a nice guy? Pretty nice, huh? And I apologize for the weird angle on my webcam. I tried a different stand for this one, and a little too high for what I wanted, but I'll have to mess with that. I need to actually look into getting a video camera stand. No, Yumiko. No. 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 You're not coming up here right now. Shame. Yumiko, stop it. Can't paint when you're pawing at me. Now we're getting into kind of a hard spot to do because his hand is in the way, so we gotta be really careful here. We don't want to get the paint everywhere else. If we get it on the bandage, is not a big deal because that will be repainted. But the rest of him, we want it to not cover it. Oh, look, my thing stopped again. Oops, I just painted my desk. So we're trying to get in there without getting it all over the place. Some models are harder to hold a paint because they don't have like a grip like this thing. Like some other ones, I have to like be really careful. I hold them, otherwise the pieces will snap off. But this dude's pretty sturdy. Come on, fall. Get in there. Get all the skin done, or his skirt thing done. So because I mixed the paint for this, I'm actually going to really quick do the skirt on him too. I can be messier about it though, just because I don't want to. I want to keep the same color, and I don't know if I remix it, I don't know if I'll get the exact same color again. So we're really quick gonna come in here and we'll be messy with him because I don't have the red on him yet. I wonder what... I kind of want to look into some of my history now, I'm curious. I've always wanted to do one of those like DNA test things and figure out who I'm related to. But they're kind of pricey. I know I am related to an Indian, but I don't remember which one. So it's kind of nice that when you can be messy in the areas. You don't have to spend as much time making it look pretty. Because you're just going to cover that back up. Almost done with the skirt thing here. So I am going to go back over some areas because it looks like some of the paint was a little thinner than I wanted it to be. But now he's done. I just wanted to put the skirt on him since it's like I said, I mixed the color, and it's when you mix colors you gotta be careful because it's sometimes hard to get the exact same color again. And if you don't care, that's fine. So now we're going to use another kind of brownish color. This one's called Zandari Dust. It's more of like a dried out bone color, very dark cream. But I always use this for the base of like the cream colors. Let's move the booty out of the way. So we're going to start painting his bandage here. It's also going to be the same color we're going to do his toenails. The toenails will highlight up to white, while the bandage will only go up to like a light cream. So you can start with the same base and end up with two different completely colors still. As you see, it's coming together though. And he also has yellow eyes. Apparently these kobolds like to have creepy yellow eyes. He has a nose. Oh, it's just his nostrils. I always like when you don't see a lot of white areas showing. So for his club, I think I'll make it stone colored. And then add these as the bones. It's not quite what they have, but it's close. Now I'm going to rotate them carefully so I don't get... Sometimes it's hard getting in this little hand area. I want to go put on that Hamilton song now after this, just to listen to the King George one again. Nice little bandage on his hand. I'm trying to get into his crevice. It's the way his bandage is. I don't want to get it all over him. Get as much of it as I can without. I got most of it in there. Sometimes you have to do really weird angles to get everything. And other times you still miss areas that you try to get because of their location. But if you don't really see it, it's not as big of an issue to go back and fix. I'm a perfectionist, so I try to get everything painted, but technically you don't have to areas you're not going to see really. There we go. So he also has legs on his bandage and on the club. He only has a bandage on one leg though. He also needs this for his toenails as well. So we'll do the bandage on his leg really quick. If I can find it again. I got a cat hair on this. Oh, and I forgot the metal on his chain, so let's go back and do that. I said gold, but it's not gold, it's silver. I'm doing most of the flat colors first, just to get them all prepped, and then I can go in and do the highlighting more. So we did that part. And now we're going to do his toenails, so we're going to switch to the smaller brush so I don't get it extra. Yeah, we'll do his toenails, and I'll go back and do the metal I missed. I use like 4 or 5 different brushes, though I tend to stick between the 2 main ones. But I use a different one for the washes. Now we're going to paint his lovely nails. So on top of his nails, we're also going to do his teeth. And the bone on the club. Remember, there's 2 more. That's 20. Yeah, there's tonight. Hi, Kiwi. Yeah, you should probably get some sleep. But thank you for popping and saying hi. There's a meteor that will be, or a comet. I think tomorrow's the last day to see it. It'll be at its highest point. But it's been cloudy the last couple of days, so it's been kind of annoying, and I haven't been able to see it yet. Oh, Yumiko. And, oh, this is going to be a hard nail to get to. Oh my goodness. Bear with me for a minute. This nail is in a very difficult place. There we go. Is it, I couldn't tell if it's cloudy outside. Is it really cloudy? I mean, I could check after my stream too, but I was just curious if you knew offhand. And out with the tentacles. I see them coming. Nice. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a half an hour after sunset's the best time to view it, but I'll go check. I've been checking nightly and I haven't seen it yet, and it's pretty frustrating because I really wanted to see it. And where I live is pretty clear, or like not a lot of light pollution, so I was hoping I would be able to catch it. I'll make sure to go hair, stop it. My hair is frizzing because of the weather, so it's grabbing into the paint. See his pretty toenails getting all done. And it's cool because the little details just start adding to the character a lot. Like before he was just a red blob, and now he actually has some details coming into him. Just wait till he has all of his details and all the shading. He'll look really creepy. I really hope it clears up though. I would like to see it. Has anyone else had luck seeing it yet or not? Oh, Yumiko. Let's see if I can get... Alright, come on. Why are you not playing? What's with the sad face, Alex? You Mags, you're not pooping? So let's do his teeth now. Maybe. One tooth done. Or what's that? His other nails. I forgot about his other hand. I like to try to do all the same color, or all of the one color at the same time, but sometimes you miss spots and you have to go back and fix it. Like, I forgot the silver on his chain. So once he gets other toenails, or his other fingernails, sorry, I will go back and do that silver cuff before I forget it. No, Yumiko. The nails on the inside are a little easier to do because they don't have the, they're just basically a flat across. So there's his nails all done. Now we'll do that silver chain thing on his. It looks like he broke out of something because he has like the chain and like the cuff around his ankle. He probably did break out of something. We just don't know what. Excuse me. And I forgot the bone on this weapon, so we'll go back and do that too. So it's only on one foot, it appears. I don't think the other foot has much of anything on it. And there's also a chain hanging off, so we're going to paint that as well. Okay, so it's very interesting to get in there. Okay, I see where it is now. There we go. So we got the chain painted on there that I almost forgot. And we'll go back and do the bone on his weapon, which is, they have it as the whole thing is bone, but I think I'm going to make it gray, just give him more color. Actually, I need to do the wrap too, so let's go back to my Xandari Dust. And we'll switch over to the medium, because these are larger areas. So as you see, he has lots of browns on him, but because they're different tones of brown, they're not all going to look the same, especially when it's all highlighted up and all that. So it'll be cool to see. I had to do a grayscale army, which is the first time I've ever done anything like that, and I was really kind of worried because there's only so many colors of gray you can get. But I managed to actually get a lot more colors in there than I thought were possible. So it just, you never know how many tones of one color there are until you try to use them. So now I own like 7 grays. There's like red grays, there's brown grays, there's bluish grays, there's light dark. So it's definitely fun to experiment with all the different grays. Oh, actually, it makes it kind of easier because it's the same color as his now. I'm mad because Halloween's gonna get canceled because of people being stupid. I mean, not technically canceled, but we could have been back to semi-normalance by now. Makes me want to go out there and shake people. Very hard. Oh, my nose needs to stop itching. So now we're gonna do, I think I can hold them at the base and it should be okay. I still might have a few people, let's say it's still kind of crazy out there around on my birthday, just to hang outside, and maybe I'll get a fire pit by then. Just relax and enjoy. Yeah, safety distance though. I wouldn't do that anyway. I just gotta find a good fire pit I can afford. They keep doing work outside, then I'm trying to figure out like what they're doing out there. They installed telephone poles and they took it down. And like I woke up yesterday and there's like 16, 17 people out there and a bunch of cars, and I was trying to figure out what's going on there. So I got that, and now we can do the gray. I'll do my normal. We'll do the gray on the club and then we'll call it for tonight. I can hold this, okay? So it's the same gray I used on his base. Whoops! I threw a brush on myself. And onto the big stone thing. Oh, my touch gem is still wet. I'll have to fix that up before I... because of the humidity, it didn't dry fully, and I touched it. So I will have to touch up the areas before I do a wash. So let's get the... So everyone's plans for the rest of the evening while I'm finishing up this thing. Any fun plans? Any bad plans? The angry one had a PowerPoint he talked about. I don't want to smear off more of his paint. See, and that's when I jumped the gun. I thought it was completely dry and it wasn't, so I smeared some of the bone paint off of the model. You're gonna sit. I mean, that's a decent relaxing thing at least. I blinked on what it was called. I'm going to eat dinner and then probably get ready to look at the comment when it comes by if I can see it. tiny little details here. So I have to touch up the bone I messed up, but there's the base of him done. And give me a second, I'll put the light a little better on him. So that is what we did tonight, and we started on the Babooty as well. Little guy here. We need to finish him up. But he's getting close to being done. He doesn't have his main colors on him. So thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you guys have a good evening. Bye!